Hello dear student, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Professor Mukesh W. Babulkar, working at Department of Pharmaceutics, Dr. Rajendra Gode College of Pharmacy, Malkapur. So dear student, today we will discuss about the distribution law. After watching this video, you will able to understand the concept of distribution. You will able to state the distribution law and its mathematical expression. You will come to know the methods which are used for the determination of distribution coefficient. You will become aware about the various limitations of distribution law and the various applications which are associated with this law. So as far as pharmaceutical point of view is concerned, distribution law play a very important role, as drug when administered, it should get distributed for the absorption. So here in this slide you can observe that a drug which is administered by oral route absorbed through gastrointestinal tract, and then drug will available in bloodstream. After that, a drug will reaches to the site of action. So for the drug to be absorbed, it has passed through the cell membrane. So we will discuss about the structure of cell membrane. So cell membrane generally consists of phospholipids bilayers. So in order to pass the drug through these layers, passive diffusion is essential. So for passive diffusion, drug should get distributed. There should be balance between the water and lipid solubility for the drug. So drug will get pass or diffuse from a higher concentration to lower concentration. Such type of transportation or such type of diffusion is called as passive diffusion. So these phospholipid layers having two components, hydrophilic heads and lipophilic tails. So drug should be balanced. It should have property of hydrophilicity as well as lipophilicity, and this distribution law is concerned about this property. So here there is a statement for the distribution law. When we add a substance in insufficient amount to a saturated solution of two immiscible liquid, so solute get itself distribute in a such way that at equilibrium the ratio of concentration of solute in two immiscible liquid is constant at constant temperature. So that is the statement for the distribution law. As far as mathematical expression is concerned, we can express the distribution coefficient by using the formula Kd is equal to concentration of solute in organic phase divided by concentration of solute in aqueous phase. So we can write down Kd is equal to Co upon Ca, where Kd is the distribution coefficient and it is always, or it is also called as partition coefficient. Co is the concentration of solute in organic phase, whereas Ca is the concentration of solute in aqueous phase. So this ratio for a particular drug remains constant. So partition coefficient play a very important role in the distribution and absorption of the drug. So there are various methods by which we can determine the distribution coefficient or partition coefficient. So solute for which we have to determine the distribution coefficient needs to be dissolved in one of the liquid phase. Then we will mix two immiscible liquid phases in equal proportion. So suppose we have taken the organic phase and aqueous phase. So we will first upon dissolve our solute in one of these two phases, and then we will mix these two phases in an equal proportion. Then we will allow to saturate these phases using a separating funnel. So you can see in the image a separating funnel, a pear shaped separating funnel is there having a cock at the bottom. So there is separation of two phases by using, according to the density, the liquid will separate out, and we will separate out these two phases in a beaker, and we will go for the analysis by using suitable methods like titration method, like UV spectrophotometry method, or we can use HPLC method. So these methods are used for the determination of partition coefficient or distribution coefficient. So there are certain limitations to the distribution law or partition law. So solute should not react with any one of the solvent. That is the first limitation. And if such thing happen, so we cannot actually accurately determine the partition coefficient. And if there is a change in temperature, this can alter the partitioning behavior of the drug. That means it alters the partition coefficient. This phenomenon, like ionic dissociation or molecular dissociation, can cause deviation in partition coefficient. So these are the limitations for the distribution law. Then what are the applications? So there are a number of applications of distribution law or partition law. So pK is one of the indicator of a nature of drug, whether the drug is hydrophilic or hydrophobic, because it will influence the behavior of the drug, like absorption and distribution in the body. So pK is one of the important indicator. This pK decides the solubility characteristic of the drug. That is the second application. So we can predict the solubility of the drug depending upon the partition coefficient value. This partition coefficient is used for the designing of control drug delivery system. That is the application of the pKa or distribution law. Then on the basis of partition coefficient, we can decide the efficiency of preservative. The next application of partition coefficient or distribution law is that it also influences the process of extraction. So extraction is one of the important pharmacognostic process. So it can influence, pK can also influence the extraction process. Again, this pK value is very important in the study of complexation process. So these are the applications of partition coefficient. So thank you very much for listening my video. Do subscribe my channel and press bell icon, so you will get such interesting video related to the pharmacy. Thank you very much. So this is my email ID. You can contact me if you have any query. Thank you.